What is happening, people? My name is Robbie and today we're doing a reaction video. I haven't done a reaction video in probably about a year, but when I did do them, people seemed to like them, apparently. Comments were usually nice, the views done okay. So I'm doing a reaction video today to test the waters, see what people are thinking. Hopefully you enjoy this. If you do, let me know in the comments. If you don't, also let me know in the comments so I know if I should continue this or not. So today we are watching Asking New York Millionaires How to Make $1 Million by Noah Kagan. You've probably seen Noah's videos before. They always show up on the little sidebar on YouTube for me. They're always entertaining, you usually learn something. They're quite funny as well. So Asking New York Millionaires How to Make $1 Million seems like a pretty good idea considering how expensive it is to be in New York and to live in New York. I'm embarrassed to admit that I spend most days trying to figure out the quickest way for me to become a millionaire. Maybe this video might help shave 6 months off that journey. Let's find out.
We are in the most expensive city in America, New York City. We just checked out a room here that was $10,000 a night. How do these people afford this? Today, we're gonna find out by going up to New Yorkers and asking them, what do y'all do for a living? What kind of stuff do you guys do in New York? What was your career?
Ship owning.
What? Really? You own ships?
Yes, mostly tankers.
And you bought and sold tankers?
Yes.
Is that very lucrative of a career?
There are good years and very challenging years. This is the only city in the world we could have started that business.
Very impressive.
It's special.
How do you own ships? This is a terrible start because I don't think I have enough money to go and buy a ship or a boat, maybe a dinghy. How do you, that gives us nothing. Chances are you watching this cannot afford a ship either, so far not so good.
What kind of company did you start?
It's called Haifa Limestone, so I import limestone from Europe and the Middle East. We do high-end homes.
How much does limestone cost?
It used to cost me $5,000 a container to ship it before the pandemic. Now it's $20,000.
When did you feel like you made it in America?
I wanted to make $1 million before I turned 30, and it turns out that was the easiest one to make. After that, it got...
That's my plan as well. Well, not to make $1 million before I turn 30. I want to have £1 million in assets by the time I'm 30, so maybe importing limestone. Probably not.
harder. It's been a really fun ride, but you know, success is different for everybody. It's like, what's success? Is it $1 million? Is it 50 million? Is it 500 million? You know, it's not a number. It's more what makes you happy.
What does finance do?
I take people's money and try to give them more money back, essentially.
What do people make in that career?
Hundreds of thousands.
So if someone was just starting out, what would you recommend?
Work hard, keep grinding.
What was it like for you?
A lot of
I hate that. Work hard. Work hard. That's too general. Work hard at what? If you work hard and you are currently working in a supermarket, it's unlikely that working hard is going to get you to a 6-figure income. It's the easiest cop-out advice if someone asks, how can someone be successful? Give some advice on being successful. Work hard as a cop-out. Work hard as a given. Work hard in whatever it is that you do and you will be successful. But work hard in certain industries compared to other industries, different ballgame.
hours kissing ass and gotta make a name for yourself.
We're selling farmland at auction. We sell in 40 different states. We sell quite a bit of land in Texas. Love Texas. Texas is a great state.
Is that a lucrative career, selling farmland?
It's a good career. Excellent career.
What kind of work are you in?
I head up operations for North America for a English brand. We design and manufacture kitchenware products.
Really? Which kind of product?
It's a brand's called Joseph, anything chopping boards.
Joseph?
Joseph. I presumed that was just a British thing that you can get in TK Maxx, chopping boards, soap dispensers for your kitchen, GML type, gadgety type stuff for your house. I didn't know that was in America as well.
They have like the super famous cutting boards?
Yeah, the multi, like lots of colours.
How'd you end up getting in that work?
I've been with the brand like 10 years. I started off in customer service.
From customer service to like running all of North America?
Yes.
I stand corrected. Starting in customer service and now she's running North America for a brand. Maybe she's making 6 figures. Maybe my advice was wrong. Maybe work hard is the correct advice.
How'd you do that?
Through hard work, and I was able
Hard work. Okay, hard work. Work hard and you can do whatever you like.
to move up 3 different departments, and yeah, so now I've head it up.
If someone was starting in their career, what would you recommend for them?
Hard work, getting in, making sure you don't mind putting in the extra hours.
We thought it'd be easy to get some advice from the rich and wealthy that live in New York City.
Sir, do you have a few minutes?
Not right now.
But the more we tried to approach them, the more we got rejected. But the people we met who weren't part of the super rich had some of the most inspiring stories.
How much is your rent here?
So I pay $1,200. Literally right down here, it's small. It's like 70 square feet, like super small.
70 square feet.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay too much, but I wanted to like live the New York experience. So like start out like small and then work your way up.
And what do you do for work?
Business development.
And what do y'all do in New York?
I'm in horticulture,
What is horticulture?
gardening. I work at a baseball stadium, so I do all the grounds outside the stadium.
You do like the grass, like the Mets or the Yankees?
Yeah, that's City Field.
What horticulture is tonight?
Not enough.
6 figures?
No, 75.
What kind of work?
75 grand. That's funny because $75,000 in New York is not enough. Apparently, it's not very much. $75,000 in Britain, what's that? What's the exchange rate? That's £63,000, which is a lot more than the average salary in Britain. But in New York, it's fuck all.
What do you do in New York?
I do recruitment.
What kind of people are you recruiting?
So I do more in the fashion business. So,
What does someone like that make as a recruiter? What's like the range of salary?
well, you have a base and then you get commission.
What was your first New York salary? Do you remember? The first paycheck?
34K.
34k. That sounds like nothing because the last guy made 75 and that apparently was nothing.
So what do you do in New York?
So I do tech sales for a company called Okta. I'm a product manager at a property tech company.
Both tech companies, I am expecting at least low 6 figures from both of these guys.
As well.
What are the range of salaries at these kind of tech companies?
Upwards of like 300-400 in a year. And then I know some people who make around like 120.
Dude, it's all over the place. Like depending on the job, like as a product manager, you'd say the low end is probably around 100. You guys
Yes!
are probably making like
Yes, I was
400
right.
all in.
I'm
6K.
a graphic designer. I now work at Google.
Like generally, how much do you make range?
When I first moved, I think I made like 80 grand a year or something like that. And she was in school and making no money.
What would be your advice for someone that's new coming to New York?
Come with friends. Be willing to live in like totally shit situations and take whatever job that you can.
Take risks, try new things, push yourself. You know, I think playing it safe in New York doesn't get you very far.
Are you in tech or what do you do for it? I was trying to guess. I was like designer, architect.
No, I work in finance.
Oh, do you?
He's going to make a fortune.
Do you wear this to work?
I've worn this to work, but I usually wear black pants.
What kind of stuff do you do in finance?
Asset management.
Like
Asset management. Money.
What are the ranges of salaries that someone could be?
Starting out, I think the average wage is like 95K.
What do you do for work?
Finance for Department of Education.
Like the government? So like I help pay for you a little bit.
Basically, this is all your taxpayer dollars.
What does the Department of Education do with finance?
So I oversee special ed finance, budgets and finance when it relates to special needs kids.
How much money is that in the budget that you guys manage?
I manage about $6 billion.
$6 billion. I feel like that would be a lot of pressure managing $6 billion, but I suppose he must be experienced enough to manage $6 billion if he is managing $6 billion.
Dude, that is wild. Is that wild to you? How much would you be making if you're in private, you think?
I want to say like 180, 200.
What kind of stuff do you do in New York? What do you do for work?
I'm a lawyer.
I don't know if I want to be sued
This guy's fashionable and he's a lawyer. 250,000.
by you or have you as like my defense. What kind of law?
None of the above, yeah. I'm a corporate lawyer.
Corporate lawyer, 250 at least.
What's the range of what a lawyer can make in New York?
Between 50,000 to maybe 100,000. But if you're in the corporate space, you probably make 6 figures.
What do you
100 to 400, so I think I was probably right on that guess.
do in New York?
I'm a composer.
That is so cool. What do you compose?
I compose music for TV.
Is there anything that we've heard or?
There was the opening sequence on Shameless, a TV show.
What's a top composer make? Like I have no idea.
There's Hans Zimmer. He makes quadrillions, but then it goes down to pennies per stream on like Spotify or whatever, like 0.0008 cents.
And what do you do in New York?
I'm a consultant for a healthcare company. I work with getting legalized medical marijuana.
Really? How did you get into that career?
Former client in the pharmaceutical industry sought me out. I worked for CBS Television for 21 years.
She's a consultant, which means she can charge as much as she likes, so fair play to her. She probably makes a fortune as well.
Running their health division.
What's the salary of someone like this? If someone aspired to be a consultant?
It's an IPO, so pay isn't great, but there's the equity when it goes public.
What kind of work are you in?
I work in finance, but there's opportunities in every industry.
How do you think you made it?
Just hard work. You like to work, you come to New York.
How much work is hard work?
I'm a workaholic, but I think in any field, like whether you're a lawyer, a banker, New York City is a place, is a magnet for people who like to work hard.
Do you love what you do?
I love what I do, yeah.
That was great. Thank you guys so much for taking the time. What's been different and interesting about the story that we're not expecting is that just because someone's dressed well doesn't mean they're rich. But there definitely indicates more than that. And there's also a lot of people who are very wealthy that don't dress well. Kind of made me think about how we judge each other. Definitely a lot of interesting people in New York. And I think one of the common themes from the variety of people that we got to chat with today was that all of them really said you just got to keep going.
So I agree with that. I think that people who dress well don't always make an absolute fortune, and people who don't dress very well sometimes do. If you've ever been to a department store in London, for example, like Harrods or Selfridges, there are people who are still dressed in their pyjamas. They've They haven't even got out of the loungewear for kicking about the house, and they're walking out with 7 bags, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Rolex. They're wearing pyjamas. Conversely, sometimes you get on a train, someone's kitted out, perfectly tailored suit, but they work in the jewellers, making a decent income. They're not making the same money as the guy shopping in Harrods. They're dressed a lot better though, so you never know. Personally, I don't dress well at all. I like to think that I dress well, and then when I get home later that night, I look at myself and I go, why did you put that on today? So I presume that people probably think I don't make any money at all. So what can we take from Noah Kagan's video? If you want to make $1 million or £1 million, work hard. See you next week.